The storm hit the town without warning. Lights flickered and died. People rushed into the streets, calling out for anyone they knew. But one voice cut through the chaos louder than the thunder. A woman screamed a name no one recognized. She stood in the rain, shaking, clutching something wrapped in a soaked towel. No one dared approach her at first. Then the bundle in her arms moved. Everyone froze. She whispered that she had found it on her doorstep. No note. No tracks. No clue of who left it. Only a single silver pendant around the child's neck. And the initials carved on. It sent a chill through the entire crowd. They belonged to someone the town had promised never to speak of again. Evelyn arrived minutes after the storm eased. She found the street crowded with anxious neighbors. People whispered in tight circles, avoiding the woman in the rain. Evelyn stepped closer and saw the woman trembling. The child in her arms stirred again. A faint cry slipped through the wet cloth. Evelyn felt her chest tighten. She recognized the pendant before anyone else did. It gleamed, even under the dim streetlights. A small silver disc with jagged initials carved by hand. Initials that should not exist anymore. Initials belonging to Marcus Hale. Evelyn felt the ground shift beneath her. Marcus had vanished 10 years ago without a trace. The town had buried his name with forced silence. They agreed never to reopen the wounds he left behind. Evelyn remembered the night he disappeared. She had been the last to see him alive. His eyes were wild with fear. He spoke of someone following him. Someone who knew his secrets. Secrets he never shared with anyone else. Evelyn turned toward the crying child. The features were small and delicate. Too familiar to ignore. The curve of the nose mirrored Marcus exactly. A quiet gasp escaped her lips. The woman holding the child noticed Evelyn's reaction. She stepped forward with pleading eyes. She said she found the baby outside her door. No footsteps led away from the porch. No shadow lingered in the street. Only the pendant glinted in the lightning flashes. Evelyn lifted the pendant carefully. Her fingers trembled as old memories resurfaced. Marcus had worn the same symbol on a chain. He claimed it protected him from danger. Evelyn never believed him. Now doubt spread through her like poison. The wind rustled through broken branches. People watched Evelyn for answers. She felt their fear pressing against her skin. She whispered that this child might be connected to Marcus. A murmur of panic spread through the crowd. No one wanted the past returning to their doorstep. Especially not Marcus's past. Evelyn urged the woman to follow her. They walked toward the old community hall. The child whimpered softly. Evelyn felt a strange pull toward him, as if he carried more than a name. The hall lights flickered as they entered. Evelyn set the pendant on the table. She examined every scratch and dent. It was undeniably Marcus's. The weight of truth pressed heavily on her chest. The woman asked what they should do. Evelyn stared at the child's bright eyes. She sensed a warning in their innocence. Someone had left him here for a reason. Someone wanted the town to remember. And Evelyn feared that this was only the beginning. Evelyn locked the door behind them. The hall felt colder than the storm outside. The baby's cries echoed against the wooden walls. The woman paced nervously near the window. She kept glancing at the street, as if expecting someone to appear. Evelyn asked her to calm down. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. She lifted the child gently and unwrapped the towel. The baby's skin was warm despite the rain. His eyes opened slowly, as if studying her. Evelyn felt a strange familiarity in his gaze. It was the same cautious look Marcus always carried. The woman asked if Evelyn truly believed the child was connected to him. Evelyn said the pendant alone was enough proof. The woman swallowed hard. She whispered that she had lived in this town for 20 years. She had seen many strange things, but never something like this. Evelyn told her that Marcus was not just a memory. He was a warning the town chose to ignore. The woman stepped back in confusion. Evelyn explained that Marcus had enemies. People who wanted him silenced. People who watched him long before he disappeared. The woman covered her mouth in shock. Evelyn continued speaking quietly. She said Marcus used to hide symbols in his belongings. Marks that meant danger or betrayal. The pendant was one of those marks. The woman asked if they should alert the sheriff. Evelyn hesitated. The sheriff had been part of the group that kept Marcus's secrets buried. She feared involving him now would only worsen things. The child reached for Evelyn's sleeve. His tiny fingers curled tightly around the fabric. Evelyn felt a sudden rush of protectiveness. She knew this baby was left here intentionally. Someone wanted him found by her specifically. The hall lights flickered again. A shiver crawled up Evelyn's spine. The woman asked if someone might be watching them. Evelyn moved to the window and peeked outside. The street was empty, but unsettlingly quiet. Not even the wind dared move. She sensed eyes hidden in the shadows. The baby whimpered again. Evelyn held him close and tried to soothe him. The woman whispered that she did not want to be involved anymore. Fear overtook her trembling voice. She said the town had suffered enough because of Marcus. Evelyn reminded her that walking away would not erase the truth. The woman backed toward the door. She pleaded for Evelyn to handle whatever came next. Evelyn nodded slowly. She knew the woman would not return. The door closed with a hollow echo. Evelyn turned back to the child. His eyes glimmered in the dim light. A soft warmth radiated from him. Evelyn felt a tug of fate pulling her forward. She examined the pendant once more. She noticed new scratches she had never seen before. They formed a pattern. A direction. A message from Marcus. Evelyn stared at it with growing dread. Marcus had left something behind. Something unfinished. And this baby was the key to unlocking it. Evelyn studied the scratches on the pendant for hours. Each line seemed deliberate, forming a strange pattern. She traced them slowly with her finger. It felt like a map, but to what she could not tell. The baby slept fitfully in her arms. Every twitch of his tiny hands made her heart race. She wondered who had left him there, and why they trusted her to find the truth. The hall door creaked. Evelyn froze and looked toward it. No one entered, yet the sound lingered. Her instincts screamed that someone had been watching. She held the child tighter, feeling his warmth against her chest. The pendant shimmered in the dim light again. It seemed to respond to the tension in the room. Evelyn took a deep breath and followed the pattern. It led her to a series of old symbols carved into the hall walls. She had never noticed them before, even after years of passing through. Each symbol connected to another, forming a rough trail. Her mind raced with possibilities. Could Marcus have left a message only she could understand? She traced the symbols carefully with the baby in her lap. The final symbol pointed toward the rear exit of the hall. Evelyn felt a chill run down her spine. She whispered to the baby that they might need to leave soon. A sudden knock on the front door startled her. Her heart pounded in her chest. No one answered when she called out. The knock came again, firmer this time. Evelyn placed the baby down on a blanket. She approached the door cautiously. Peeking through the small window, she saw nothing. Only shadows moved across the empty street. Her mind reeled with suspicion. Someone was testing her. Someone wanted her to react. She returned to the baby and hugged him tightly. The pendant glinted again, almost guiding her. Evelyn decided they could not stay in the hall. She packed a small bag with essentials quietly. The baby stirred, but did not wake fully. Evelyn whispered that they were leaving, just the two of them. She glanced once more at the symbols on the walls. They formed a warning and a promise. Marcus had anticipated danger long before he disappeared. Evelyn felt a deep sense of urgency. They had to move before anyone discovered the child. She unlocked the back door silently. The night outside was calm, but tension lingered in the air. Evelyn stepped into the shadows with the baby. Her mind raced with plans for safety and secrecy. She followed the pattern from the pendant to guide their steps. The streets were eerily empty, and she sensed eyes following them. Every sound seemed amplified under the still night sky. Evelyn focused on the baby's soft breathing. It was the only grounding force she had. The pendant felt heavier against her chest now. It pulsed almost as if alive, reacting to danger. Evelyn whispered Marcus's name softly. She prayed they would find the truth before it was too late. With each step, the shadows seemed to close in around them. She knew the journey ahead would reveal secrets long buried. And nothing in the town would ever be the same again. Evelyn moved quickly through the deserted streets. The baby in her arms stirred, but remained asleep. Her eyes scanned every shadow for movement. She could feel someone following them. The pendant rested against her chest, warm and heavy. It seemed to pulse with each step she took. Evelyn ducked into a narrow alley. The sound of distant footsteps echoed behind them. She held the baby tighter, whispering that everything would be fine. The pattern on the pendant guided her silently. It led her toward the edge of town, a place Marcus had often warned her about. Old warehouses lined the route, their windows dark and broken. She passed one and caught a glimpse of a figure watching. The figure vanished before she could react. Evelyn's pulse quickened. She knew they were not alone. Someone was tracking the child. Someone who wanted Marcus's secrets buried forever. She reached a small bridge over the river. The pendant glimmered, as if signaling the next step. Evelyn stepped carefully, avoiding the loose boards. The water below reflected the moonlight eerily. A sudden rustle came from behind a pile of crates. Evelyn froze, holding her breath. No one appeared, yet the sound persisted. She whispered to the baby to stay calm. The baby stirred, clutching her fingers tightly. Evelyn felt a strange connection to him. It was as if he recognized her already. The pendant pulled her attention downward. Etched into the bridge railing were symbols she had never noticed. They matched the scratches on the pendant exactly. Evelyn traced them with her finger. They formed a warning: do not trust anyone. A chill ran down her spine. She realized the danger was closer than she imagined. A shadow moved along the water's edge. Evelyn stepped back, hiding behind the railing. The figure paused, scanning the area carefully. Evelyn held her breath, counting silently. The figure began to move again, slowly, deliberately. Evelyn followed the symbols, ignoring the fear in her chest. Each step led her further from the town's lights. She found a small cabin tucked between the trees. The pendant pulsed as she approached the door. Evelyn knocked softly. A voice from inside whispered her name. It was Marcus. She froze, unable to believe it. The door opened slowly, revealing a man she thought was gone forever. His eyes were sharper, older, but unmistakably his. He reached out to the baby. The baby stirred in her arms, recognizing him immediately. Evelyn stepped back, conflicted and afraid. Marcus motioned for her to come closer. He spoke quickly, warning of people who had been searching for him. He explained the pendant was a guide and a key to safety. Evelyn listened, trying to absorb every word. The baby cooed softly in Marcus's arms. Evelyn realized the truth she feared most. Marcus had not disappeared. He had been hiding, protecting the child from a threat no one understood. She felt relief and dread at the same time. The storm of the past had returned to the present, and the journey to uncover the full truth was just beginning. Marcus stepped inside the cabin, holding the baby carefully. Evelyn followed, her heart racing with questions. He locked the door behind them, bolting it securely. The room was small, but filled with maps and papers. Every surface held notes in Marcus's sharp handwriting. Evelyn scanned the walls, recognizing symbols she had seen before. Marcus set the baby on a soft blanket in the corner. He crouched beside him, whispering gently. Evelyn felt a strange mix of relief and fear. She asked why he had stayed hidden all these years. Marcus explained that enemies had been tracking him relentlessly. They were after the secrets he carried. Secrets tied to powerful people in town. Evelyn felt a chill. The pendant was part of a larger warning system. Marcus had designed it to guide her safely to him. She traced the familiar scratches again, understanding the urgency. He warned that the town could not be trusted anymore. Evelyn listened intently, storing every word in her mind. Marcus revealed that the child was his. He had hidden him to protect him from those same enemies. Evelyn's eyes widened. The child was more than a symbol. He was the key to stopping the threat. Marcus handed her the pendant. It glimmered in the cabin's dim light. He explained that it contained a hidden message, only visible at night. Evelyn studied it carefully. The pattern shifted slightly under the light. It revealed coordinates leading out of town. Marcus stressed the importance of leaving before sunrise. Enemies had learned to watch the usual paths. Evelyn felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her shoulders. They needed to travel quietly, avoiding main roads. Marcus packed a small bag with essentials for their journey. He explained that every item had a purpose: food, water, maps, and tools to escape detection. Evelyn helped, her hands trembling but determined. The baby gurgled, sensing the tension in the room. Marcus picked him up again, cradling him close. He whispered promises of safety and guidance. Evelyn felt a strange calm wash over her. For the first time, the danger seemed manageable. Marcus outlined the route they would take through the forest. He marked hidden paths on the map for emergencies. Evelyn memorized them quickly. They had no time for hesitation. Marcus warned that anyone following would be ruthless. He reminded her that trust was limited to only those in the cabin. Evelyn nodded, understanding the gravity of their situation. They had no allies outside these walls. The night grew darker, shadows pressing against the cabin windows. Marcus instructed her to prepare the baby for travel. She wrapped him securely, ensuring he would be safe in her arms. Evelyn glanced at Marcus, seeing both fear and resolve in his eyes. He handed her a small, hidden knife for protection. Evelyn accepted it silently, feeling the weight of responsibility. They waited, listening to the wind and distant noises. Every creak of the cabin floor sounded like a warning. Marcus whispered that they must leave before anyone suspected. Evelyn adjusted the baby, ready to follow him into the night. The pendant pulsed softly against her chest. It guided them, promising protection and revealing the path ahead. The journey to uncover the truth had only just begun. And the danger waiting for them was far greater than anyone could imagine. Evelyn stepped into the forest, holding the baby tightly. Marcus followed closely, scanning the shadows for movement. The pendant glimmered faintly, casting a soft light on the path. Every sound of rustling leaves made them tense. They moved quickly but cautiously. The map Marcus had marked guided their steps precisely. Branches scraped against their shoulders. The baby stirred, but did not wake fully. Evelyn whispered that everything would be all right. Marcus nodded, his eyes never leaving the path ahead. They reached a fork in the trail. The pendant pulsed, indicating the left path. Evelyn followed without hesitation. They descended into a narrow valley, hidden from view. Shadows stretched unnaturally under the moonlight. Every step felt heavier with anticipation. Marcus explained the valley led to an old safehouse. It had been prepared long before they needed it. Evelyn felt a mixture of relief and dread. They were not yet safe. Someone could be tracking them even now. A distant howl echoed through the trees. The sound made the baby stir again. Evelyn held him tighter, whispering softly. Marcus pointed to a fallen log. They climbed over it silently. The path narrowed further, forcing them to move in single file. Evelyn noticed strange markings carved into the bark. They matched the symbols on the pendant. Marcus explained that Marcus's allies had left them as guidance. It reassured Evelyn that someone still watched over them. Suddenly, a shadow moved between the trees. Evelyn froze, heart pounding. Marcus held up a hand to stop her. The figure emerged slowly, hands raised. It was an old friend of Marcus, sent to assist them. Evelyn exhaled in relief. They exchanged quick words, planning the next stage. The ally led them to a concealed cave nearby. Inside, it was warm and dry. Marcus placed the baby on a soft blanket. Evelyn checked him, ensuring he was comfortable. The ally explained that enemies had been spotted near town. They had to stay hidden until dawn. Evelyn nodded, understanding the urgency. Marcus pulled out a small bundle of documents. They contained names, locations, and plans of those hunting him. Evelyn studied them carefully, memorizing every detail. They needed this information to survive. The pendant glimmered once more, almost like a heartbeat. Marcus whispered that it would guide them to safety beyond the forest. Evelyn felt a surge of determination. She realized they had the tools to fight back. The baby cooed softly, offering a moment of calm. Marcus smiled faintly, feeling hope return. They spent the remaining night preparing traps and signals. Every precaution counted. They could not afford mistakes. Evelyn practiced silent movement, ensuring the baby would remain unnoticed. Marcus taught her ways to detect anyone following them. The forest was alive with unseen threats. Yet it also provided cover and protection. As dawn approached, the first light touched the treetops. Evelyn tightened her grip on the baby. Marcus checked the pendant one last time. It pulsed steadily, signaling the path ahead. They were ready to leave the forest and face what awaited them. The journey to uncover the truth and protect the child was far from over. But for the first time, hope felt possible. Evelyn stepped out of the forest with the baby in her arms. Marcus followed closely, scanning the horizon for danger. The pendant glimmered faintly, guiding their steps. They reached a hidden road leading to safety. No one was in sight, yet tension remained heavy. Evelyn whispered that they were almost free. Marcus nodded, eyes alert to every sound. The baby stirred, sensing the calm around them. They moved quickly but quietly, avoiding main roads. The town faded behind them, shadows swallowing the past. Marcus spoke softly about the secrets they carried. Evelyn realized the child was the key to ending the threat. Each step forward felt like reclaiming what was lost. The pendant pulsed gently, signaling their progress. Finally, they reached a small safe house far from town. It was hidden, secure, and free from prying eyes. Marcus set the baby down, letting him stretch and coo. Evelyn felt a weight lift from her shoulders. For the first time, the danger seemed distant. Marcus smiled faintly, a mix of relief and exhaustion. They had survived the night, and the shadows chasing them. The pendant rested between them, a symbol of hope and guidance. Evelyn looked at Marcus, and then the baby. The journey was over, but the future remained theirs to shape. They had escaped the past and found a new beginning. And for the first time, they could finally breathe.